Welcome back to the one and only Chatty CHRIS podcast with the one and only me, duh. So you guys, this is our 4th episode. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in, showing me all the support and love. Make sure to like this video and subscribe because yeah, we're gonna take this podcast to the next level. So if you guys watched my last podcast, you guys know I've been mentioning that I'm gonna have a guest for this podcast. So we didn't get the guest I wanted to, but we got a guest. So we want to welcome on the one and only Chris. Hi, I'm so happy and honored to honestly be here. Thank you so much for coming on here. This is like my first ever podcast that I've ever even been on, so I'm like very excited to be here. Yeah, no, period. It's like, what if we're gonna have somebody, why not it be you, period. You're gonna be the first guest on your podcast. Well, for the people that may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you do. Tell us, So basically what I do is social media. I'm honestly on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on OnlyFans. If you know. So yeah, I basically do social media. I've been doing social media for a long time, ever since I was in high school. I stopped and then got back into it, then stopped and get back into it, and I've been doing it full time now since 2017. I know you've been doing social media for quite a while now. I remember back in the day with Watermelonisha and all that. Like when I was young, you were up there with like Alema, Baby Scumbag, all them throwbacks. Oh my god, yes, that was literally like when I first got into social media, when I was doing social media and I was like underage, like 15, 16, because I started at actually 14. It was so different, and it is different from now. There's so many different platforms. Back then it was like having meet and greets at City Walk, and it was just so much fun. Like anyone who had ever went to any of my meet and greets or had met me at anyone else's meet and greets, and they were just so much freaking fun. And shout out to Alema. And at that time, that's when I had the character Watermelonisha, and at the time not that many people were doing characters and stuff like that, so I did have the character Watermelonisha, hence why my signature and trademark was Watermelon. No, yeah, Watermelonisha was literally my favorite character. Oh my gosh, I don't know whatever happened to her, but you were so funny with her. Like that was literally your signature was Watermelon, and I thought it was so freaking cute and funny. Yeah, well, she might make an appearance back, who knows. She just is taking a break or whatever from the public eye. So I know you also do some OnlyFans as well. So what is that like? I know now a lot of people do OnlyFans, but I want to get your perspective because I know I've been following you for quite a long time. I'm fanboying for a little bit right now. Don't come for me. Period. Come through, fanboy. But I've been following you for a while, and I remember when I first started seeing OnlyFans, it was because of you. Like you were posting it. You were like one of the first people that I actually was like on there. This was like when it was not like now I feel like it's accepted, but back then it was not accepted. This is like when it was like that. So how was it like coming to light to you? Like what made you want to do it? What like inspired you to do it? Have you even talked about this before? I've talked about this plenty of times before. Oh, okay, so I'm late on the bandwagon. A lot of people kept telling me to do it and hop on this wave to do it. Well, like people kept like wanting to see me naked and my man naked basically. So I was like, you know what, let me finally do it. And so I went ahead and I went through and did it, and I was making money, and I was able enough to quit my job at the time and focus on YouTube and doing that like full time. And ever since then I've been doing it full time and stuff, and I honestly really do like. No, yeah, you need to get your coin, period. Like, so do your parents know that you do OnlyFans? Like, does your family know? Like, I mean, you post it very publicly, like on social media, Yeah, they do know. They're very actually supportive, and yeah, shout out to my family, because without them I wouldn't have all the confidence and all the personality that I do have now. They just always taught me, if you want something, go get it, and don't listen to anyone's opinion, because at the end of the day, if they're not paying your bills, I've mentioned this plenty of times, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. Some are bigger than others, some smell more than others, and it's just that is that. No matter what you do, you're always gonna get judged, and everyone's someone's gonna always have an opinion on you. So it's like you might as well do what you want. No, that's good that they support you. Yeah, because what I feel like, me too personally, I would support, like, you have to support them regardless, especially if you're grown. Like, you're a grown ass adult, you're grown, you can make your own decisions. No, yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what my mother said when I told her. I think it's so cool though that, you know, like, you're able to do that. So is that like your only income, or? Yeah, that is one of my incomes. Oh, she said we got multiple incomes. Yeah, so when you first started, because I'm really interested on this OnlyFans, like, I really want to know, me being a little cheese muscle. So when you first started, like, how much were you making? Like, you don't have to say like how much you're making now, but like, I mean, I got my phone right here. I could pull up my actual, you know, transcripts, my receipts. Oh, I mean, if you're comfortable with it, you could just tell us your statement. You don't have to do all of it, because I mean, you mentioned you were doing it for quite a while. We don't need to hear all your statements. But when you first started, I want, like, you literally your first 2-3 months, how much were you making off of it? Okay, so here, let me open it up and let me go on to my OnlyFans. Also, you guys, this is not me, you know, me promoting, but if you haven't got my OnlyFans already, you need to make sure to get my OnlyFans, because period. Okay, so I got my statements right here, and I'm just gonna read them off to you guys. Okay, so in January 1st, 2019, I had made $8,251. Period. You're in your bag though. Okay. Oh, let me find out. I need to make me a little OnlyFans. I need to hop on that wave. No, deadass. That's why I'm just like, what? People's opinions don't matter, because people's opinions don't pay your bills. Always remember that. So if you don't mind me asking, what was your most made month? Like, how much did you make in 1 month? What is your most? It was actually right when the pandemic hit. That's why I think COVID and all that, that's crazy how it happened. You know, everyone had to go and stay home, but it was $12,000. Damn. $12,000, boy. Damn, I think I really do need to hop on an OnlyFans, you guys. But enough about me. How have you been? I've been good, thank you. Yes, just been, you know, trying to still manage what I want to basically do. Like, I still don't have a posting schedule for this podcast. Like I said, we were supposed to have a guest come on, but some stuff had happened, so we had to reschedule. So basically I'm like the second option. I'm the replacement. I'm the second. Because I wasn't your first. You didn't want me to be on your first, so clearly I'm your second option. No, I mean, you are the second option, but I mean, at least you're the second option. That's all that matters. And thank you so much for coming, like I said. Yeah, honestly, thank you. This is so much fun. Thank you for having me. Like I said, this is my first podcast that I've ever been on. And, you know, like you said earlier, why wouldn't I be on my podcast? Why wouldn't I be the first official guest? Might as well spice it up, you know, because it is CHRIS Huizar, for crying out loud. We are on the Chatty CHRIS podcast, for crying out loud. Your energy, your vibe, your presence here is just really good. I'm loving it. I'm here for it, girl. I'm here for it. So yeah, so I know you and your boyfriend, yeah, right, you do have a boyfriend, correct? Well, I mean, the guy that's in your videos, period. Because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I done peeped the Twitter before. I've seen before. Ooh, bringing up the Twitter. Any like friends or family told you like, oh my god, girl, like I peeped or I saw out of curiosity? I'm honestly so used to it though by now. Like literally, honestly, you'd be surprised on who be looking and peeping at my free uncensored promos on my Twitter. Cause I mean, it is just out there. Honestly, yeah, not like there has been some like friends and like family friends that have told me like straight up like, yeah, hey, I peeped, I've seen. But I'm sure like, you know, there's some, it's weird to think about it, like if a family's looking at it and stuff, but it's just curiosity. People are just, you know, curious. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that have looked at it that haven't told me that have looked at it, and I'm just like, ooh, keep it that way. But there has been some people that have told me, and I'm like, no, why would you tell me? I just look at you so differently now. But it's like, I can't judge them because my butthole is full on out in the world to see. So who the hell am I to even say anything? Oh, how awkward. I would be awkward, but I mean, if you say you're used to it, you're used to it, but that's funny to me. But anyways, as I was saying, so like I said, I'm a follower. I've been following you for quite some time. So I did notice that you and your man took like a little break, or what was all that about? Like, are you comfortable talking about that? You want to share it with us? Because I'm curious, because I remember I was watching your YouTube and just out of nowhere you moved and you were like, I'm me with 2 dogs. So I was like, oh girl, what happened? No, yeah, I'm comfortable on talking about that. And yeah, I did move. So basically what had happened was we did take a break. It was for like honestly no more than a month we took a break, but we would still see each other like every day and stuff. We just stopped living together, and we were just both at a point where we both came to the conclusion that we needed, you know, time to ourselves, because leading up to this we had been together for 4 years. I mean, and that's totally fine. I mean, if you guys both come to the agreement and you're like, hey, we're grown adults, we need to, you know, this was my first relationship, like really very serious relationship, so as it was his. So, you know, we're just like, is this really something we want? Like, if it's meant to be, we'll come back. But yeah, we just, you know, kept bumping heads. We were not in the same space at the time, so we decided, you know what, let's take a break, let's remain friends. And yeah, we ended up, you know, coming back together. So like, if it's genuine, if it's a genuine real relationship and it's real love and real feelings, the universe is gonna bring you guys back together no matter what, because what's meant to be is meant to be. Totally understandable. I feel like, yeah, that's totally understandable. You literally had people messaging him like, and y'all were together and they thought like y'all were single, y'all were, oh yeah, literally, like he would show me, we would literally be laid up next to each other. And that's what I'm telling you, whatever you put out in the world, like if I make it seem like we're not hanging out at all, it could be seen like that. You get me? That just goes to show you, you can perceive anything to be a certain way and people will believe it just because that's what they see. So just know I went on an unfollow spree because it was just messy. Gays are really messy. That's why it's just see, that's so trifling. I stay in my lane. I, you know, have my little circle of gay friends, and yeah, I'm just, whew. You said unfollowing spree. I just feel like that's how it is in the gay community though. It's just very like, ooh. No, yeah, totally. And like I said, a private life is the right life. I know though you are a YouTuber, you kind of live in that life. I mean, you've mentioned before like your booty holes out in the world. So yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, it's, you can be open and like in the public eye but still have a private life. Like you can. No, yeah, you totally can. I feel like I do live a very private life. A lot of people may think they know everything and I'm so open. Before I was very, 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 very open, but now, you know, you just gotta balance it. And it's not like I'm not an open book, because I still am an open book, but I just, you know, cut down on what I want people to see. It's, you know, nice to have some type of privacy, some type of love life privacy, some type of, you know, just privacy in general. Just like I recently got a new car and, you know, people are like, oh my gosh, do a tour, because people notice these things. But it's like, you know what, I'm not here to flash anything. It's a lot of stuff happens better, I feel like, when it's behind closed doors, when it's, you know, not spoken on, because, you know, bad energy and all that is real. So, you know, and I don't like showing off or nothing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm humble, because if you have to constantly tell people you're humble, I don't think you're humble. It's just, you know, this year it has taught me to, you know, just be more private, be, you know, live in the moment and make sure you're having fun in real life and on Instagram, not just Instagram or social media in general. Totally. So thank you so much for coming on to this podcast. I know it's very early in the morning. It's totally fine. It is pretty early. We got you out here. Sorry we didn't have no coffee. I just got my little shake going. I'm actually gonna go stop at Dunkin' right now and get me an iced signature caramel craze. But I want to thank you again so much for coming on the Chatty CHRIS podcast. We wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Even though we would, but our guest couldn't. I'm joking. So petty. That's why, honestly, I love you. Thank you for being the first guest, because like you said, why wouldn't you be the first guest on your own podcast? Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Like I said, this was my first ever podcast, and why wouldn't I be the first guest on my own podcast? You know, I'm just that extra. I really enjoyed it. I had fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed my presence. I hope you really loved my energy, and I'm excited for everything coming your way. I hope this podcast opens many doors for you, and I can't wait to keep watching your episodes and keep seeing the different people you have, and just you as a person in general growing and glowing. I'm just very excited for it. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Chatty CHRIS podcast episode 4. Once again, shout out to the one and only CHRIS Huizar for coming on and being our guest. Thank you again, Chris, for having me. You're so sweet. So you guys, make sure to subscribe, and until next podcast, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and yeah, that's a wrap.